Today we're going to talk in Pain-Free Living about a condition that one normally doesn't think as being involved with muscles at all, and yet it very much is. The condition is tinnitus, ringing in the ear, loss of equilibrium, you feel dizzy, and people will be going, they'll get tested for everything that the neurologist can think of, the ENTs will think of, and it just doesn't go away. Had a gentleman who came into the medical office I was working, and he said to the doctor, if this ringing doesn't stop, I'm just going to kill myself. I can't stand it any longer. So the doctor said, well, I'm sending you to the ENT, and for sure they'll find something. So after he left, I said to the doctor, if they don't find anything, would you let me take a look at him? So he didn't believe that muscles had anything to do with it. So he says, oh, sure, sure, sure. Well, a week later, this gentleman is on my table. And it turned out they couldn't find anything. No tumors, no problems. The muscle right here, it's called sternocleidomastoid. And it originates here on your collarbone. It inserts here on the mastoid bone, which is right behind your ear. When the muscle contracts, you turn in the opposite direction. So if the right one contracts, you turn left, and when the left one contracts, you turn right. Problem is, as the muscle is tight, it's pulling down on the mastoid bone. As it's doing that, inside are the little tiny bones that are tapping together in order for you to hear. Well, it's pulling, and so it changes the alignment. And instead of tapping this way, they're tapping this way. And you get this ringing in your ear. So I had this gentleman on my table, and I grabbed here, and instantly the tears all welled up in his eyes, and they're coming out, and he's like barely able to breathe. And I wasn't holding it that hard, but I started to hold it a little bit harder, a little bit harder. And as that happened, he's looking at me and he's going, it's getting lighter, it's getting lighter. And then he looked at me and went, it's gone. And it was that fast. It took maybe 5 minutes. When we came out, he looked at the doctor and he said, why did you make me suffer a full week when she was right at the end of your hallway here? And he just looked. He looked at this gentleman, and then he looked at me. He said, you mean you're better? And he said, yes, I'm better. And he wasn't too happy that he had suffered an extra week. When he left, the doctor said to me, okay, what did you do? Why did you do it? How did you do it? And I told him. And he was thrilled because he hadn't had great success with his patients with tinnitus. And now he had a way of being able to treat people right there in his office. If you're suffering with tinnitus, please look at muscles as a potential cause.